On board with Ari Vatanen.
200 first kilometers, not so good, but now it's fantastic.
If there's ever a man who just loves what he does in life and feels completely blessed just to be here, it's Ari Vatanen. Stopping to offer help, thinking about it, then thinking, this is a bit soft, and then digging himself in. But always with a smile by the end of the day. What a guy. The Nissan of Giniel de Villiers after McRae's retirement and the problems for Vatanen. De Villiers was the last hope.
No.
He finished in 4th. It was a great effort by the South African. Jose Luis Monterde on board the BMW. Well, their target was to finish in the top 10. That's exactly what he did. Finished in 9th. Good for him. It was supposed to all be about Nasser Al-Attiyah, but he crashed early on, losing any chance of a podium. And Jean-Louis Schlecher this year competing with a new buggy, occasionally battling with Peder Hansel, and on stage 7 needed to stop the car, wait for assistance, and he waited an awful long time, all afternoon in fact, and decided he'd had enough, withdrew. Sometimes waiting can be the worst thing. We'll be back with more after this break. There's no doubt about it, the biggest stage on the rally was Zwerat to Tischit. It was almost impossible out there, the biggest test of this event. Restricted to 20 litres, says Cyril Desprez of fuel, and we just can't finish the special with that. It's off stand. We've done 400 kilometres, we've got 260 left. Yes, that's right, a special of 660 on this day. So the consumption is 15 litres per 100 kilometres. So with 20, we're going to run out. And they did. The stage was a nightmare, particularly for the riders. Lots of bikes pulled out of it. Well, conditions were so difficult that some competitors just preferred to withdraw. And you know what? Even the broom wagon was to get stuck. This, the truck, see the brushes? If you see that, it's over. Stick your bike on the back, go home. Peder Hansel himself saying, I think it's one of the most difficult specials that I've ever done. The first part of the special was great because it was quick, but the last 250 kilometres, there was a lot of camel grass and it was very, very long. And we all watched the sunset out there. And indeed, night did come. And there was an awful lot of damage to be found there under the spotlights. Those that did make it to the bivouac usually came in very late, and there was a lot who had to sleep out there. Luc Alphonse, one of those home after a long, long day. For the riders, the situation was even worse. It was crazy. The organisers knew it was. And so the following day just became a liaison day, just to try and give everybody a break. Some just couldn't even face eating, they just went straight to sleep if they got there. Other competitors, as you can see, wrapped themselves up in foil and slept next to their machines. Well, I've not got any GPS in the dark at night, and I've still got 360 kilometres to do, she said. Well, even top name drivers got stuck in the middle of the desert. Ari Vatanen needed a tow. Well, so many competitors were late. Horrible conditions as well. The wind blew up and the sandstorm began, and the medical helicopters couldn't get airborne. And so, the following day was annulled. They still had to get all the way to Tischit though.
Pour l'instant, c'est impossible de bouger.
Can't move, said Patrick Zanaroli. Going to wait half an hour, 45 minutes. Maybe with the sun it'll get better, but it didn't. Well, those that made it to Tichit still had to go on to Tajika. So it's an old. 90 bikes, 53 cars, 25 trucks are not here, the announcement was.
53 voitures et 25 camions.
An awful lot of metal left out in the desert. Helicopters were dispatched to try and find them. Some were alone, some were waiting with others, some were taking a rest. A lot of them just trying to restart. So that windstorm in the night really taking its toll. They spoke of it.
La nuit, l'enfer.
The night, a nightmare. This is a tempest. It's too much. It's cold as well, rain, horrible, he says. Everybody tried to find a solution to get to Tajika. Some made it by themselves, others needed help. There was an awful lot of teamwork out there. And as it had been annulled, extra help was allowed.
It's tough because each leg is very, very, very long, and you lose a lot of energies, and you lose concentration, and that's the way, because the car is so hard. Is really the last adventure in this world.
Gerard de Roy, the Dutchman, out there to win a couple of stages, 12 and 13 as usual. He was out there with Daddy Jan, who had big mechanical troubles in 2005. Pushing all the way, the monsters of the desert, kicking up dust as ever, almost getting into each other. Firidis Kabirov on board his Kamaz, taking stage 10, leading until the end of the rally and giving Kamaz their 6th title, equaling that of Tatras in team titles taken. Chegin was victorious on stage 4, where he took the lead. Had his problems though. And the flip over of the truck of Gerard de Roy, not helping matters either for the Dutchman. Chegin losing his title chances due to fuel problems between Zouerat and Tichit, which seemed unfair. Meanwhile, Hans Becks won the opening stage and stage 3, but the FIA made a decision about some technical infringements and he was declared null and void. Meanwhile, Sugawara on board Danino, 2nd place to the Japanese. No stage wins, but very consistent. And 3rd place going to Giacomo Vismara. Vismara in the Mercedes. The Eno, the cutest truck on the rally, and has been for many years, almost pocket size. Gerard de Roy and Daddy finishing 4 and 5. "25 tons of love," they say. So to the last stage, and well, it had been a difficult rally. 2 deaths had kind of hung like a black cloud over it. Some very harsh conditions as well. It had been a bit disjointed, and so the celebration down the beach was just, well, muted, frankly. There was a lot of tears at the end as well. And when it finally came to the bikes, Desprez burst into tears as he came across the line, looking up to the sky and dedicating it, of course, to Meoni. Desprez, Alfie Cox, Jean Brucy, the 1, 2, 3. Peter Hansel bringing in the cars. And in fact, I'm just checking my results. It was Desprez, Coma and Cox, of course. Mark Coma, so apologies for that. Yes, Stefan Peter Hansel bossing it. Alfond in second ahead of Jude Kleinschmidt, who had, well, was absolutely delighted, and so were Volkswagen, to be on the podium. Well, you know the results from the trucks. Kabarov taking it. Biggest trucks, biggest flag, biggest smile perhaps.